Hello, sports fans. It's the dog with a nice cup of coffee on a Monday morning. Hope you had a good weekend. This Bernie Fine file, let's get right to it. I worked for Tony Stewart way back when at Gould's Pumps. I was there 44 years, and Tony was a great boss. We were facing a lot of projects, and I was getting kind of nervous because that's my style. And Tony called me down to his office and said, "Hey, dog, relax." I said, "Why, Tony?" He says, "You know how you eat an elephant?" I said, "No, I don't know how to eat an elephant. One bite at a time." Well, the one bite out of the apple that I want to talk about with Bernie Fine is a lot of allegations being made against Mr. Fine about misconduct and sexual molestation by Mr. Davis, and now his stepbrother have come forward to make all these weird allegations about Bernie and his conduct. I guess my question is, he was a ball boy. Did, in fact, Mr. Robbie Davis fly to away games by SU? Did he get part of the traveling entourage? And why did he go to these away games? A ball boy making the traveling squad? I know it was 15, 20 years ago, but it's still absurd. Why would you include a ball boy or a ball girl on your traveling squad? It defies logic to my Miners Academy 63 mentality. Let's say he did get on those planes and fly away to the SU games, the Maui Invitational, the Final Four, and some other away games that have been illustrated by ESPN. The question is, who approved him to be on the plane? They must have records at Syracuse to prove that. And did Mr. Davis, if he made these trips, and let's just say he did he room with Bernie Fine? If the records show that he roomed with Bernie Fine, and Bernie Fine approved him flying away to these destinations, then and only then would I think there might be something to the story. Certainly SU hopefully has records to prove, did he make the away trips? Who approved him being on the plane? And did he in fact room with Bernie Fine on these trips? If I get the answers to those, then and only then will I start to wonder about Bernie Fine. Let's switch to the NFL. I'm not going to call them the Jets anymore. I'm getting tired of the boisterous Rex Ryan Super Bowl. We're great, we're great, we're great. No, you're not. You're not the Jets. I call you from now on until you get your act together the New York Props. They're like a prop plane. They don't deserve being called the Jets. Smooth, 35,000 feet. Altitude. Oh no, they're not the Jets, they're the Props. Horrible losing to Tim Tebow in his college football game. Are you crazy? And about the Jills and Bills, I am just so tired of beating up on the Bills. They give me too much fodder for my show every week. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're not going to like this. They have got to be one of the most pathetic, capital P program in the NFL for the last 11 years. I asked the question, can you say 12 years? Myself and Jimmy Senecropi want to give you a gift. If you want to sit down and type us an email, if you're a Bills fan, guy or girl, in 5,000 words or less, why you are a Bills fan. Tell us why. How you can put up with the pain, the torture for these last 11 years. Make it 12 years. Please, in 5,000 words or less. If your story is the most compelling and brings tears to my one eye and Jimmy's two, we will award you a free pizza in town. Okay? That's all you got to do. Send it to Finger Lakes 1, care of the dog, H. Weber. Me and Jimmy Senecropi will read it. The best letter, if you dare to write us, we'll reward you a nice pizza. We can't understand how anybody can be a Bills fan. I'm sorry. The New York Giants, yikes, lose to Vickless Philadelphia. What? Tommy Conklin, he's got to be having bad dreams checking out Deshaun Jackson. He must be waking up during 3 o'clock in the morning in cold sweat, seeing that guy's face over his bed. The guy has got the G-Man's number. How do you lose to Philadelphia minus Michael Vick? Ugly loss by Tommy Conklin and those Giants. Miami, awesome. Scored 35 points against the most pathetic team in the world, the Bills. They haven't scored 35 points in 3 years. Hey, kudos goes out to Cleveland. My buddy Tommy Bell and Jack Fiorelli, the mistake on the lake, finally win a game. And tonight, if you're having trouble sleeping, not to worry. At 8:30, you'll be sound asleep as New England hosts Kansas City. The line went to 17 this morning. New England, by the way, is favored. And about golf, President's Cup, they got to get rid of that worthless little bit of an affair. They were in Royal Melbourne in Australia. Greg Norman did his wonderful job of picking Aussies. He had 5 of them on the team. Oh, yes, he did. And, Adam Scott and Jeff Ogilvy did very well, thank you. But how about one of the best players in the world, Jason Day, an Aussie, goes 1-3-1. Bye-bye, Jason. He gagged it at home on a course he's played 7,000 times. Goodbye. How about the other Aussie, which was a captain's pick, namely Aaron Badley? Thank you, Aaron. 1-2-1. You did a good job. He's played the course 5,000 times. So much for knowing the course. That's why Greg Norman picked him. And oh, by the way, the last captain's pick, a legendary pick. This guy's got the reputation of being one of the best iron players in the world. Trouble is, he's got the reputation of being one of the worst putters in the world. Robert Allenby, a captain's pick. How'd you do, Robert? You're Australian. You've played Royal Melbourne 8,000 times. 0-4-0. So Greg Norman's strategy of picking the Aussies backfires. It's a joke. The President's Cup is simply a joke. The Americans had kicked their ass, let's see, 7 times, 1 tie, and 1 loss. Getting rid of the President's Cup. It's not worth anybody's time. By the way, college football, SU and Cincinnati getting ready for a big game this weekend. Cincinnati's quarterback, ankle surgery. Jimmy Senecropi and all the SU fans, we need one more, baby, to come bowl eligible. SU, mano a mano, according to Marone, the librarian, says we're going to go 1 offense versus 1 defense. No screwing around this weekend, baby. We're going to go at each other. We're going to get ready for the big showdown battle because SU needs one more win to get into a bowl game. Brad Jones tells me he's got a good feeling about this. And oh, by the way, this update on the librarian, who I can't stand as the coach, as you know, Doug Marone, he's switching from Wrigley Spearmint Gum to a new brand called Bubble Gum. He's really serious about this game. Oklahoma State gets crushed, loses. Are you serious? Now we got the game that I don't want to see again. LSU, Alabama, they're back for the national championship. Never thought it would happen, but now it's coming our way. LSU, Alabama, let's play again for the national championship January the 9th in New Orleans. And by the way, folks, trivia question as you sit around and watch the dog on a Monday. Question. Who had the most famous job in college football as a coach? The most famous job. And now he's going from the most famous job to the worst job in college football. Answer, Bob Davie. Coached in Notre Dame, then ran him out of town, as you know. What's he doing? He was the lead analyst for ESPN, a nice cushy job. Made a lot of money. Doesn't need the money. He takes a job with New Mexico. What? New Mexico Lobos? Do you know how many coaches they've had in New Mexico? 30. He's the 31st coach of New Mexico. Why would you go from the most celebrated coaching job in the world to the worst? Unfreaking believable. And the persons of the week as we wrap up another Weber on Sports Express show. Hobart football team, even though they got beat this past weekend, they've had a great year. Congratulations to Mike Craig and the Hobart Statesman. When I send out kudos, I can't come up with any more adjectives about the William-Smith Herons soccer team. Yes, they won again. They cruised past Williams on Sunday. They're going back to the Final Four in San Antonio. They've been there the last 3 or 4 years. Congratulations goes out to Alice Ann Wilbur, the celebrated coach of the phenomenal William-Smith soccer program. I cannot say anything nicer about that team. They are fabulous. Take care, everybody. Don't forget, coming up on the Dog and Paulie show this week, Jeff Rook and Kevin Korzaneski will be in town to talk about It's a Wonderful Life weekend and their 5K and their walk competition. Should be an exciting show. Check us out this coming Wednesday. Until next time, everybody, don't forget, send us that letter, 5,000 words or less, on why you are a Buffalo Bills fan. If you have the most compelling letter and you bring tears to our eyes, we'll award you a large pizza with 2 toppings. You should get a medal, too. That's a look at sports my way.
FingerLicksWine.com